Hello and thank you for joining me for this video today. When it comes to home skincare treatments, HiFu is one of my all-time favourites. When I first started my channel a couple of years ago, I started out with this one right here, which is the first generation Mini Hifu device. Roughly a year after starting with the first generation HiFu, I got my hands on a second generation Mini Hifu. This is a perfect entry-level at-home Mini Hifu device, but it's not one that I really use anymore. Likewise, the second generation Mini Hifu is an awesome little device, but again, it's not for me anymore. So we say bye-bye. And then we have the Mini Hifu third generation. So I'm going to be running through this today and showing you how I use it. But first, let's take a quick close-up at the different frequencies and what each of them does. So the product specs of the third generation home use Mini Hifu device are as follows. We've got the HiFu frequency, which runs at 2.4 megahertz. We have the Radiofrequency which runs at 3 megahertz. We've got the EMS frequency, which runs at 100 hertz. And then we've got the pulse frequency, which runs at 200,000 kilohertz. But what exactly does each of those frequencies do? And how is it going to help with anti-aging skincare? Let's take a closer look. Let's start with HiFu. Now, HiFu stands for High Intensity Focused Ultrasound, which is a skin tightening procedure that uses sound waves to generate heat and ablate tissue at a specific depth. Now, when looking at clinical applications of HiFu, the range typically varies between 0.8 megahertz to 3 megahertz. The lower the frequency is, the deeper the penetration. Ideally for home use devices, you want something between 2 and 3 megahertz when it comes to the HiFu. That's going to take care of your superficial layers of skin, the ones that are out there and on show to the world. Next up, we've got radiofrequency. Now, radiofrequency uses high frequency electromagnetic waves, which heats up the skin's underlying tissue, resulting in firmer and tighter skin and increased collagen production. The higher the frequency is, the more superficial that area treated is going to be. Again, for home use devices, you're looking at anything between 2 megahertz and 3 megahertz, with the higher end of the spectrum being better. At 3 megahertz, the frequency is perfect for treating fine lines and wrinkles and other signs of aging typically seen on the outer layers of the skin. At lower frequencies, closer to 0.5 to 1 megahertz, the frequency is going to reach all the way into the subcutaneous fat layer, which for a home use device you don't really want to be doing because, again, as I say in all videos, facial fat is something that we really want to cling on to as we get older. So the higher the frequency is, the lower the risk is of destroying any facial fat. Okay, next up we have EMS, or electric muscle stimulation. EMS stimulates the muscles and improves circulation. When it comes to skincare technology, EMS typically ranges between 5 Hz to 100 Hz. The higher the frequency is, the more rapid the current's going to be and the more effective it's going to be at stimulating the muscles to get them to contract, which is going to boost circulation, it's going to improve oxygen delivery to the area that's been treated, it's going to strengthen and tone those muscles, which is then going to help to kind of keep everything lifted and in position, giving it a little more structure, a little more shape, a little more tone, all things that an aging face can really benefit from. The last feature that we've got on the Mini Hifu 4-in-1 is the pulse feature. Now, the pulse feature again is using an electrical current, which is running at 200,000 kilohertz and is used in combination with devices that use radiofrequency. The pulse feature helps to open up the pores and get the current deeper into the skin, which can help boost the collagen production, reduce wrinkles, improve the overall texture of the skin, improve topical skincare penetration, and overall just leave the skin looking firmer, more youthful, and more vibrant. Now, each of these frequencies on the Mini Hifu third generation run for 20 minutes at a time, but it doesn't mean that you do all 4 treatments in the same day. Some of the treatments you'll do daily, some of them you can do weekly, and when you're in maintenance mode, you can move on to monthly. So for daily treatment, you can use the EMS function and you can use the pulse function. The pulse function feels so amazing on the skin and it's one of my favourite functions to use. Now, whenever you do a HiFu treatment, the radiofrequency is also activated at the same time. So there's no need to do a separate HiFu treatment and then move down a program onto the separate radiofrequency treatment. The radiofrequency setting is pure radiofrequency alone, no other frequencies or functions. EMS, again, is just EMS on its own. The pulse function uses the electrical current in combination with radiofrequency. So you can see that it would be quite easy to overuse the radio frequency, but as it's at 3 megahertz, it's not going to be reaching into those fat layers or doing any damage or destruction to the fat cells of the face. So as I said, for me, my routine with this device is that I will use the pulse function every single day. I do EMS every other day. So I will do it on a Monday, Tuesday I have a rest day, I would do it on a Wednesday, Thursday is a rest day, I would do it on a Friday, Saturday is a rest day, and so on. For HiFu, I've been doing skin treatments for quite a while now, so I actually just do a monthly treatment with it, and likewise with the radiofrequency, and that's how I maintain my results. Okay, so here are the instructions for setting up the Mini Hifu 3rd generation 4-in-1 home HiFu device. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the power adapter and we're going to insert this into the base of the device. It beeps to let you know that the connection is successful and it is now connected to the power. Now here you've got 3 buttons. The third button, or the bottom button, is the power button to turn it on and off. So you push and hold it for 3 seconds. And the machine is now on. Next up, we're going to be using the top button to select the frequency. So the first frequency that comes up is the HiFu. We press L and we move on to radiofrequency, EMS and pulse. If you want to get back to HiFu, you just push L again and it should start again from the top. When you know which frequency you want to be working with, let's just say we're going to do radiofrequency. You will push the middle button, or M, which will start the frequency and it will run for 20 minutes. Now when you first start the frequency, it's going to be on power level 1. What you can do is you can press L, which is for level, and you'll be on level 2, level 3, level 4 and level 5. If you want to stop the frequency midway through a treatment, all you do is you push the M button and it stops. You'll also know that the frequency is working when the lights come on, so the LED lights. Now for radio frequency, these are red. For the EMS, they are green. For the pulse feature, they are purple. And then for HiFu, we have blue. Then after treatment, all you do to turn the device off is you push and hold the power button 3 seconds and it turns off. Now, as you're going to need to use a conductive gel when performing a treatment with the HiFu 3rd generation, it's really important that you clean it down afterwards. The way that you clean down this device is you just wipe it clean with a soft microfiber cloth, just ensuring that you get all of the conductive gel off and that everything is nice and dry before you put it away in the box. There's no need to use any harsh or abrasive chemicals. There's no need to put any water on it. Literally just wipe it dry and you're good to go next time you need it. So how do you know if your Mini Hifu is genuine? The easiest way to do that is to do the water test. A genuine HiFu frequency will cause the water to jump out of the dish. The way to do it is to take some conductive gel. Now I'm using the Medicube HR Booster Gel here, and just to apply a blob of it right in the center. So you've got a nice blob on there. You take the lid of the device and you rest it on that. Add some water to the dish. Turn on the device. Make sure that we are in HiFu mode and then turn the frequency on. You can see on level 1 it's jumping. It's just a really quick doot. Level 2. Jumps for a little bit longer and a little bit higher. Level 3, level 4, and level 5. So we now know how to check that the HiFu frequency is genuine, but what about the radiofrequency frequency? I'm going to turn the device on, going to power it up to level 5. I'm just going to leave it for around about 30 seconds. So the frequency is now running. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the frequency and I'm just going to feel these. Each of the radio frequency plates is lovely and ice cold, which means that it's not generating heat in the plate. So now we've run through all of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a quick HiFu treatment. Now this treatment runs for 20 minutes. I'm not going to force you to sit through that. I will do individual treatment videos over the coming weeks so that you can kind of follow along with them. I'm just going to do a quick run through. After the HiFu treatment, I am going to use the pulse feature and then we'll look at where you can get this from yourself. I'm going to be using the HR Booster Gel, which is the only conductive gel that I ever use for any of my treatments. So roughly the size of an olive. And I'm going right up onto the cheekbone with this. Now, as I've been working with HiFu and radio frequency for a long time, I am going to set my level at level 5. The frequency is active. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just starting at the outer corner of the mouth and then just slowly sweeping along. And it takes me roughly around about 10 or 15 seconds to go from the corner of the mouth up towards the ear. and then I'm going to repeat. If I wanted to do a more intense treatment, what I would do is I will hold it in place. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's about as much as I can do before I have to move it along, otherwise it gets really unbearably hot. The heat is being generated by the radio frequency, and then you kind of get this, it's almost like a weird pulsating feeling. That's the HiFu frequency kind of reaching down to the smash layer, and then moving it up 1/2 inch, and then following along again as before. So what we do now is we go from the angle of the jaw, and we're slowly gliding it up. Just to help with the jowly area, I always like to just find where I've got my little bit of a dip coming on here. And we're just doing a figure of 8 around here, just for that additional tightening and contraction. And then expanding that out onto the cheek. And then we're going to do the underjaw. And then down onto the neck, avoiding the middle line where the thyroid and the larynx is, and just up and down here, bringing some of the conductive gel as we go. For this side, we're just going onto the forehead and following it along the brow area towards the temple, down, and then back round. So now I'm just going to fire through on this side. It's repeating exactly the same thing that I've done on the other side, and that will take me to the 20 minutes. So here we go. So that's the 20 minutes up for the high frequency treatment. Now I'm not going to do 20 minutes for the pulse treatment. I typically just do 10. I'm just working in the triangle of the jawline up to the outer eye area and across. This frequency is unbelievably relaxing. And doing a treatment really is that easy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bounce back into this video in around about 14 days. So that I can just kind of see if there's been any changes. I'm not going to use any other products or devices in between now. I'm just going to leave it for the 2 weeks. I know this device from this manufacturer, as with my previous Mini Hifu devices, my Mini Hifu 1st generation and my Mini Hifu 2nd generation, that the Hifu home devices really do work. And I know I'm going to get results and be really happy with this 3rd generation Mini Hifu, but I kind of just want you guys to be able to see as well. With the power of the internet, we're going to jump into 2 weeks time right now. So here we are. It's been 14 days since I've done my treatment with my 3rd generation home use Mini Hifu device. And I am definitely noticing some changes in my skin. Now my skin is already pretty lifted and toned before I even started doing this treatment, which I've been keeping in condition with my more professional devices. But there's always room for improvement, and I have been a bit slack when it comes to treating around the jawline, the upper eyes, the lower eyes, kind of those finer details. Now the areas that I feel that this has worked the most for me, like with the instantaneous results, is definitely along my jawline, which is feeling way more snatched, but also my upper cheek area, which is feeling a little bit more lifted, it's feeling a little rounder. And I feel that it's kind of tightened the under eye skin area as well a little bit more. So it's not looking quite as crepey. But the thing that blows me away the most is my overall complexion, which is looking the best that it has looked in such a long time. My skin looks so much clearer, it looks brighter, my pores look smaller. My overall complexion is just looking less ruddy and more glowy, I guess. But with that said, that's not to say that I'm not going to see any further results after using this device, especially when it comes to collagen production, elastin production and lift. Because remember, when you're using radiofrequency and when you're using HiFu, it's going to take a minimum of 4 weeks before the body even starts thinking about producing fresh collagen. For most people, when it comes to the collagen plumping effect, not even going to notice results until the 6-week mark, maybe even 8 weeks. And this is why I'm such a huge fan of combining radiofrequency with HiFu, because you get that instant gratification with the skin tightening that most people are looking for immediately, and then following on from that, the body kickstarts with its own healing process, boosting the skin from within. When it comes to efficiency, effectiveness, and ease of use, I am rating this Mini Hifu 3rd generation a huge 10 out of 10. I feel that it's got all of the modalities in it that I would be looking for in a home use device. I feel that the energy output is more than enough for a home user, and it's taken on the visible signs of aging from multiple angles. Now, if you want to get your hands on your very own 3rd generation Mini Hifu to use at home, I'm going to throw some links in the description box down below. I'll also throw in my affiliate code so you can save yourself some money whenever you make a purchase using it, which means that you're going to continue to be able to look the best that you can for the age that you are on a budget. But if you do have any questions about the 4-in-1 Mini Hifu device, about the topical products I use, or any of the other treatments that I do across my channel, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I do try to answer as many of you as I can. As always, I appreciate it when you give my videos a like, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you're first to know whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for joining me for this video today. Have an amazing day ahead of you, enjoy the rest of your week, and I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So till then, TJ over and out.